But this book was very different. This was strategy. In fact, I was talking to someone at the USPTO about it. I said, look, there's one thing attorneys aren't doing. And there's one thing that even the USPTO is not aware of. Which is, what's that? Strategy, how to license an idea, how to use the USPTO's tools from a business perspective, not a legal perspective, because that's all we ever get. We get fear. But how do you get from a business perspective? How do you use the tools? The most powerful tools in the world you get from the USPTO. And they're cheap. That's what I love about it. They're so affordable. Now, the attorneys part of it gets a little expensive, but those tools are affordable for all of us. You can file a provisional patent application for $65 if you make under $150,000. You can play the biggest game in the world. For $65? It's incredible. So I wrote this book. It's about the business strategy of how to use IP to get licensing deals so you don't have to go out and spend money on those patents. I'm a patent holder. I love patents. I've made so much money on patents. But when do you need patents? Because I would think in this room, most of us, in fact, most of the ideas that I see from my students don't require patents. Big ideas, you know what a big idea? You're going to need multiple patents. And I talk about that too in the book. The book goes through easy ideas, big ideas, small ideas, big ideas. Because they're so different. You cannot lump them together. You can't have the same strategy for a kitchen appliance gadget that's going to be in the marketplace for 4 years to a technology that's going to be around for the next 20 years. Different strategies. But somehow we lump them all together, and that's not really fair. Because everybody thinks they have to own something. I'm here to tell you, you don't have to own the thing. You need to perceive ownership. So, that's right, 99% of my ideas and my students' ideas in the past 15 years have never had any intellectual property, a patent issued. Really? That many? If you've been to my site, you'll see all the students that license ideas. That's incredible. How can that possibly be? Why would they license an idea if you didn't own anything? That's what everybody's saying. And I'm here to show you exactly how to do it without any intellectual property. How many people have seen this? The Wolf Washer 360, raise your hand. Okay, crazy idea, isn't it? You guys, one of my students, Ryan Diaz, great guy down in Los Angeles, came up with this great pet product, showed it to everyone. He showed it to, I won't name all the companies because I'll embarrass them now, because after this thing hit Facebook, it got 63 million views on Facebook in 10 days. What happened? You know what they did? He put it up. First, Ryan showed it to everybody in the industry. Everybody said, no, don't want it, no, hate it, too big, don't like it, too big. Everybody said no. So this small company, and you guys, small companies are wonderful. Everybody goes after the big guys. Don't go after the big guys, they don't need us. It's the smaller guys that need us. So he finds this company, shows it to them. They make this little video, they put it up on Facebook, and guess what happens? There's no sound. 10 days later, in fact, I saw it when it first hit my feed. I saw it had 6 million views. I thought, God, there's Ryan's thing, 6 million views. Each day, this thing exploded. Now, what's happened now, he doesn't have any intellectual property. He doesn't have a patent on that. No one cares. No one cares at all. Lifetime Brands picked it up. His first check, you would fall out of your chairs if I told you what that's going to be. No intellectual property whatsoever. And does he have a provisional patent application? Yes, he does. And he filed it for $65. All right. Another one of my students was an industrial designer, really smart guy, couldn't make any money in that industry, although he's still in it, and he's a very big player in it, but still wasn't making the type of income he wanted to make. So sure enough, he came up with this simple thing, it's called the Cocoon, and showed it to every company. They all told him no. Again, every big company told him no. Found a smaller company. And it was the #1 selling small accessory at Apple. It's in 1,500 SKUs. 1,500 SKUs. And he didn't have any intellectual property whatsoever. Now, a patent did eventually issue, but that was years and years later. The company didn't care, because you know what they realized? They realized it was first to market. That's what they realized. My attorneys told me years ago, Steve, protection is easy. Selling is the hard part. And somehow we got it reversed. We think we have to own something. So we got to flip it. We got to flip it. And that's how I've been taking my products, the market for years. Is that I learned when I first started out, if I had to wait for a patent issue, I don't think I could play the game. You know, my wife would have kicked me to the curb a long time ago if I had to do that. So I found a way of testing the market first, right? And that's what my program, that's the Yellow Book's all about. Testing first. And then if there's interest, license it, and then let them pay for it. That's how it works, guys. But no intellectual property. Now, Andrea, I don't think anybody knows her. Does anybody know her? She's on Quirky, she's on Edison Nation, she's absolutely wonderful. She's licensed the Lifestyle brand, she's got Essing on TV. She just plays the game. She plays the game so well, guys. And she's a mother of two, she does a bunch of stuff. She's so busy. But she's able to get the product, she does a little video, she gets them out, and she licenses them. And guess what? There's no patents on that. Not at all. Provisional patent application, over $65. How many people are familiar with the pancake pot? Has anybody seen this? You haven't seen this? This is remarkable. Miguel, for his kids, makes this 3D printing pancakes for his kids using Legos. And he absolutely loves it. And he's a student of ours. And he showed it to everybody, and everybody said, no, that's a stupid thing, no. So he does it a different way. He goes to Makers Fairs. Anybody been to Makers Fair? Well, if you haven't, guys, go to those. That's the most interesting event I've been to in years. I've never seen anything like it. You'll see the most unusual people and things at these Makers Fair, and I'm sure if you haven't been, go to one. But anyway, he shows it, and before you know it, all these people are crowding around, they're watching him. He builds an audience. He does another one, he builds an audience. So he puts a website, right? And you cannot license it, there's no IP whatsoever. Haven't even filed any IP. And he builds an audience. And a company sees it, he reaches out, Miguel's a pretty talkative guy, and he got a licensing deal. And he said, well, why did they, in fact, I interviewed him, I think, for Inc. And I asked him, why did they give you a licensing deal? You don't have any intellectual property. He said, well, I had an audience. That's what they cared about. They cared about sales. I had an audience. So now they've redesigned it, they filed some more PPAs, he put it, so the company's really smart. You know what they do? They use crowdfunding for advertising. That's what companies are doing now, you guys. The small guys like us, they're using Kickstarter to advertise and raise some money. Puts on there, they raised $440,000 because of his audience. And the company that licensed it, they knew that. That's why he was able to license that. And still doesn't have any intellectual property on it. I think he does have a couple PPAs. Oh, another student, Scott. This guy's crazy. He is in the toy industry. How many people like to invent for toys? That's a hard industry. Raise your hand. We have a toy broker here. There he is in the back. If you don't know there's a toy broker, you got an idea, track him down. He'll run after we're over, I know he will. Scott started, I guess his first product was a big hit. It was called the Grip Go, as seen on TV, All-Star products. They did Snuggies, took it, big hit. Still sells today. Even years later, it still sells today. They had a ton of money, jumped into toys. This is the only guy I know that can just jump into industries. Just jumps in them. And then once he gets that first idea, he starts building extensions onto it. So he's got, I don't know, how many different SKUs. He's got so many, like 40 different SKUs. And he licenses one and then finds other ways to use it. And just keeps on extending the life of it. Scott has won all these awards. And what's really interesting, intellectual property. So do you see a theme that's happening here, you guys? You know what it is? It's called selling, right? That's what selling, but for some reason we've got it reversed. And I think the old thought process was, I'm going to build a prototype, I'm going to file a patent, and then I'm going to take it to market. And the big companies don't even do that anymore. They test first. All those companies in Silicon Valley, they test first. Does the market want it? Because can you imagine how many people have filed a patent, built the prototypes, and then found out it didn't go anywhere? How many raise your hand? You're not alone, you guys. You're not alone, trust me. There's so many of us. There's so many. It doesn't really work that way. Wouldn't it have been better to test it first? You would have saved yourself a little, some situations, maybe a marriage, right? So that's what I've found, and that's what I'm seeing over and over again. Sarah's same thing, you guys. I could go on and on and on with this. Perceived ownership. Because I don't think I ever owned anything. I have 20 patents on one idea. One. How can you have 20 patents on one idea? Because that idea makes me millions. That's why. And I didn't pay for any of them. The kind of licenses paid it. That technology, the first one I filed was 1998. And I just got one issued just this year. I'm still filing on it. You file patents on moneymakers. That's when you file patents, is on moneymakers. Right? It's already making you money. And then you get the company to pay for it. You know why they pay for it? Because you're going to give them an exclusive. It's in their best interest. And then if they don't make the payments, get it all back again to sell it to somebody else. I've done that repeatedly with my technology over and over again. I believe you don't own anything. I've seen it in federal court. I didn't own a rotating label. My technology, I don't own that. Someone else invented that 50 years ago. I own manufacturing techniques. And that's how they got around me. They found another way of doing it, right? But they couldn't, I tripped them up in 2 words. And that's why your attorney can be gold. Right? And that's why you don't write your own claims. That's why you have the best that you can afford. Because when it came down to it, after 3 years, it came down to 2 simple words. And they couldn't get around those words. So perceived ownership. You don't own anything. No one owns anything. 20 patents, and I still don't own that technology. And guess what? I'm going to file more. I'm going to keep on filing. I've got another company that's using smart technology, the Internet of Things. All packaging is going to have little printed electronics in it. My labels are going to have that next to. Isn't that great? This is going to go on for another 20 years. On an idea I didn't even invent. That's different, you guys. That's a big idea. That takes a lot of money to do that. And luckily it's not my money. Somebody else is paying for it. So let's talk about perceived ownership, because I want everybody to leave tonight to go, hey, I like this perceived ownership. I can do it myself. In fact, I'm going to teach you tonight, when you work with your attorney or you do it yourself, you will be an expert. You will write your PPA better than any attorney will ever write it. That's what you're going to learn tonight. How you can write a PPA that has so much value, that has so much strength, that not even your attorney can do it that well for you. Because you have to be the expert, not your attorney. Your attorney only helps you change that into the right language for you. But you need to be the expert. And so we're putting all this responsibility with our attorney. They're only as good as the information we provide. And if you don't provide him with everything he needs, he can't do a great job. So we've got to shift our mind, thinking about how we're going to do that. Stephen Key Design versus Legos, I'm not going to talk about it. That was, it took a long time to get over that. In the book, I finally wrote about it for the first time in the book that's up there. And if you've read about it, there's some things that I'll never be able to say because I'm under a certain amount of contract not to say certain things. But it was probably one of the best experiences I've ever had at the end. You can say that. And also, it taught me quite a bit about, especially about writing the second book. If I hadn't had that experience, I could not write this book. So I'm happy to go through the pain so no one else has to do it.